Hey everyone, welcome back to The Explainer. Today we're doing something really special. We're going to break down a couple of fascinating classic moral narratives to uncover a timeless, universal truth about prosperity. Our main goal today is explaining the vital connection between hard work and true wealth. We're going to look closely at how human nature reacts when the promise of riches is dangled right in front of us.
So, let me ask you something right off the bat. What would you do if immense wealth was just handed to you? No effort required whatsoever. If a heavy chest of gold literally dropped on your doorstep this afternoon, you'd take it, right? I mean, it's a super compelling thought. We all have this innate itch for effortless wealth, but as our source material brilliantly points out today, that very desire can either be our absolute greatest motivator or our most dangerous blind spot.
Section 1. Hard work is the true wealth. Let's get right into it.
In this first part, we're really going to flip the script on that conventional, shortcut-driven mindset that is just everywhere today. The narratives we're analyzing don't just preach to us about hard work. They give us a really practical demonstration of its physical and psychological value. But first, we need to get on the exact same page about what wealth actually means in this context. We are not talking about gold coins or a hidden stash of diamonds here. No. True wealth is defined as the enduring result of honest labor, blooming physical health, and a bountiful harvest that you created with your own two hands. Keep that definition locked in your mind, because it is the absolute core of everything we're about to explore.
Section 2. Ramaya's Illusion, the Trap of Laziness. Let's look at our first case study. It's about a guy named Ramaya. Now, Ramaya is a super fascinating character because he started out with a massive advantage. He was blessed with incredibly fertile land, but he was completely paralyzed by laziness. While his wife, Rangama, was literally going out and doing chores for the neighbors just to put food on their table, Ramaya just slept. He was letting his golden opportunity lay completely barren.
But then, out of nowhere, everything changes. Some distant relatives show up at Ramaya's house, lugging this massive, incredibly heavy wooden chest secured with a thick brass lock. They hand this over to Ramaya as an ancestral treasure, supposedly stuffed with unimaginable wealth. But naturally there's a catch. They tell him this magical box has a very strict condition. The brass lock will only open from the touch of an honest worker. And to prove he fits the bill, Ramaya has to continuously plow his barren field for exactly 30 days. No cheating.
Driven by pure, unadulterated greed for whatever gold is inside that box, Ramaya actually picks up a plow for the very first time. And man, day one is an absolute disaster for him. We're talking severe body aches, endless complaining, and some major doubt. But he pushes through. Fast forward to day 10, his hands are calloused, sure, but there's this surprising, growing enthusiasm taking root. By day 25, something incredible happens. His chronic laziness completely vanishes. It's replaced by this brand new, radiant physical health and a genuine sense of peace. Finally, day 30 arrives. The field is fully plowed, little green shoots are popping up all over the place, and it is time to unlock the box.
The climax here relies on a brilliant twist of dramatic irony. Ramaya goes up, touches the lock, and boom, it pops open perfectly. He is fully expecting a blinding flash of gold coins and precious gems. But when he throws open the lid, there's no gold, nothing. There's just a large mirror reflecting his own face and a single piece of paper.
The message written on that letter is just profound. It says, "Your labor is your true treasure. The healthy, hardworking Ramaya you see in the mirror is the real gold." The source material reveals this whole thing was a masterclass trick. Those relatives were actually actors hired by Ramaya's caring neighbor, Virya. Virya knew the only way to cure Ramaya's laziness was to basically trick him into experiencing the physical and mental rewards of hard work firsthand. Ramaya looks in that mirror, sees his newly glowing health, looks out at his newly green fields, and it clicks. His neighbor was right. He was already rich. He just needed to actually put in the work.
All right, moving on to Section 3, the greed for free, a dangerous trap. While Ramaya's story ends in a beautiful redemption, the source text gives us a stark contrast with two incredibly lazy guys from a neighboring village, Gangaya and Bhadraya.
So Gangaya and Bhadraya hear this wild rumor that the nearby village of Kanakapale has been totally abandoned overnight. And even wilder, they hear that hot food has just been left sitting right on the dining tables inside houses with wide open doors. Now, blinded entirely by their own greed and laziness, they completely ignore the massive red flags here. Instead, they look at this eerie, silent town as a paradise for a free feast, and they immediately drag their wives over there to gorge themselves.
Well, as you can probably guess, this free feast quickly spirals into a total nightmare. First, they rush into this grand house and start stuffing their faces with what they think are sweet givadas. Instantly, they realize the food is actually packed tight with fiery, burning guntur chilies. They're screaming for water in the pitch black, and one of them plunges straight into a deeply dug pit filled with cow dung mud. As total panic sets in, a hidden wire gets tripped, and one of the wives is suddenly hoisted midair, caught in a suspended palm leaf hunting net. To top it all off, the heavy doors of the bungalow slam shut and lock firmly from the outside. They went looking for a free lunch, and they literally walked right into a house of horrors.
So, what exactly is the deal here? Well, this was an elaborate trap orchestrated by the village head Anjana. The village wasn't actually abandoned. The citizens were just in hiding. This whole setup was designed strictly to catch a notoriously cruel group known as the Kandapali Thief Gang, who were rumored to be attacking that very night. But in this absolutely hilarious twist of irony, instead of catching hardened criminals, the village's elaborate security system perfectly snared the greedy, lazy freeloaders from the next town over.
When the villagers finally storm the house with torches, totally expecting a fierce battle, they just find these guys covered in mud, mouths burning, dangling from the ceiling. It is deeply, deeply humiliating. And this brings us to Gangaya's painful but totally necessary realization. He says, "Hoping for free things only leads to deadly traps and danger. My eyes are finally opened." He realizes that desiring unearned luxury doesn't just make you lazy, it actively invites humiliation, danger, and total disaster right into your life.
Which brings us to Section 4, the true value of labor, the ultimate lesson. Let's pull both of these fantastic case studies together into a single, undeniable conclusion about that vital connection between effort and prosperity.
Ultimately, life offers us two paths. First, you've got the pursuit of free. As we just saw with our chili-eating freeloaders, trying to take shortcuts to avoid work only leads to dangerous traps, public humiliation, and empty illusions. The second path is the pursuit of labor. As Ramaya found out through his 30 days of grinding it out with the plow, putting in honest effort leads to vibrant physical health, actual sustainable wealth through a real harvest, and most importantly, profound self-respect.
I want to leave you with this final provocative thought today. Think about your own goals, your own career, and your own life. Are you sitting around waiting for a magic box full of free gold to be delivered to your doorstep? Or, having seen the true essence of wealth today, are you ready to pick up the plow and start cultivating your own field? Thank you so much for joining me for this analysis. I really hope this gives you a powerful new perspective on the true value of your own hard work. See you next time.